In election-related news, I beg your pardon, media groups have been congratulating Ressa and Dimitry Muratov on being awarded this year's Nobel Peace Prize. Ressa is the co-founder of the Philippines news site Rappler and has been commended for using freedom of expression to expose abuse of power, use of violence and growing authoritarianism in that country. Well, Muratov, who's the co-founder and editor of the Novaya Gazeta newspaper in Russia, has been hailed for his defense of freedom of speech in Moscow, even under increasing pressure from the state. The South African National Editors Forum has congratulated them. Sanef project manager Hopewell Radebe joins us now to talk more about this. Hopewell, good to see you on this Saturday, and thank you for your patience. So it's not every day that journalists are awarded a Nobel Prize, let alone a Nobel Peace Prize, and I'd imagine as South African editors, you yourselves are quite inspired by this.
My brother Tembegile. I should just mention that the last journalist to receive an award, I think it was early 1930s, also by a Russian journalist. So it's been almost 100 years. If you look at it, that the last journalist got a Nobel Prize. So, or got a recognition for that matter for democracy and for expose.
Hopewell, I'm not sure if you can still hear me, but we're having a bit of an issue with our link to you. I'm going to try and move us on, and perhaps let's speak about how difficult it has become globally to be a journalist and speak up and help defend democracy when governments are seemingly becoming, even in the most democratic of countries, more resistant and unwelcoming of a critical media.
Yeah, we believe that this award is a recognition for media freedom in general, and also the recognition for the work that journalists do around the world, you know, fighting for democracy and exposing the ills of our society, in particular the political unwillingness to fight corruption or to even by condoning corruption. So we are most elated and feel that this is a representation of all journalists around the world who have been murdered, who have been jailed, and who are continuing to be harassed.
And there's also the important work that the likes of yourselves as the National Editors Forum then have to do to protect individual reporters and media organizations when they do indeed come under political threat especially.
Around the world, we don't have enough Editors Forum chapters. In other countries, literally, they get arrested, they get jailed. Half of Africa's Editors Forum journalists are in jail. I mean, you go to Eritrea, you go to Ethiopia, the Gambia, most of the journalists are jailed, and some of them have been murdered last year and the other year, 2019. So the Africa Editors Forum, which is a mother body that we subscribe to and was also co-founded by Sanef, is at odds trying to fight or what they call appeal to the African Union to have the members of the African Union acknowledge and respect the media freedom rights.
And what do you think we need most in order to make that happen, to get more respect for the work of journalists?
Now, our previous presidents did try. President Thabo Mbeki was also, when we founded the Africa Editors Forum, he was the first president to address it. But I must say, by the time he left office, there had not been sufficient buy-in from the African Union leaders to protect and to endorse what are called the media freedom charters in their own countries. So it's where we can fight a better battle, either at the United Nations level, through the United Nations, UNESCO, and also via the African Union. We have managed to get the African Union to have and establish a body that can look at media freedom in the country. One such person who was one of the founding leaders to be the rapporteur for African Union was Pensi Tlakula, the advocate, who was with the IEC at one stage, the IEC Chief Electoral Officer. So that's the only place where we can fight and fight a better battle. And we are there. We are beginning to make inroads. There are more countries that are acknowledging and endorsing these chapters, but we still have a long way to go in the continent in particular.
Critics say there's this increasing resistance or dislike for the media, and in some cases a clampdown really, because journalists have crossed the line from being journalists to being activists? Is that really a thin line? How thin is it?
But for us here in South Africa, we cannot even be the jury and the judge there at the same time, because we ourselves have had to be activists to get media freedom recognized in this country. For the fact that we have it in our constitution, it's because of a lot of hard work that many journalists did to lobby the governing party now, and all political parties when South Africa was founded a couple of years ago. I'm talking about now the new constitution that we have, making sure that it has all these elements that the world think are appropriate. So it's still a long way. We still suffer even from within our neighbors. Your Lesotho, your Zimbabwe, and Swaziland are some of the neighbors that continue to trample upon the rights of many journalists. So for the country to have a better constitution that recognizes media freedom, you need those activists. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is a thin line, but there is no other way but to use those channels and be activists de facto by just writing the truth.
Hopewell Radebe, Project Manager at the South African National Editors Forum. Thankful for your time this afternoon, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you.